lap 68 of the Sharpie 500. Kyle Busch has now led the last 14 laps after making his way around Carl Edwards and Jeff Gordon. Edwards led 53 laps. Jeff Gordon was credited with leading a single lap. They are the only three leaders thus far tonight. The 42 car of Juan Pablo Montoya is being shown in 37th position, but he is running as hard as anybody on the racetrack.
The top three got by him okay. Not okay, they got by him. These other guys are really having a tough time.
Here's what Kyle Busch had to say a moment ago about the 42 car.
Man, he did that to us at Darlington. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? Forgot all about that, you're right. I'll tell you what, when he's running 40th, he's the fastest 40th place guy here. He's a racer. Yeah, you're right about that. Oh, show.
Now, what are you supposed to do? It reminds me a little bit of the old days of Dave Marcus. I mean, Dave may not have had the car that day that some of the other guys had, but he was not going to give you anything. He was going to drive as hard as he could drive to maintain his position.
Yeah, he was a hard one, man, I'll tell you. This Montoya's proved to be pretty tough. I can't believe these guys are actually being as patient as they've been with him.
You know, the problem they're having with him is his car doesn't look like it's turning that good in the center, but it really gets off the corner, and so that's not allowing these guys to get a run down to the end of the straightaway on him and make the pass. And so it makes it difficult. But I don't know. You know, he can't just stop. So you know, it's hard to put a blame on him whenever they have a whole lane that they can race and try to pass him.
Yeah, he's given them the whole bottom side of the racetrack. It's just they can't seem to go down there. Shannon?
Yeah, as far as the 44, David Ruderman is concerned, I spoke with his team this morning, and they told me, you know, despite that second-place qualifying effort, they really were not happy with his car in practice. They said they had a really hard time getting back on the gas, but he is holding strong in that top five right now, guys. Just a little bit loose in the center for David Ruderman.
And see, David Ruderman's running that higher side and had been making up quite a bit of time. Regan Smith's now going to try to go to the top, and you see Ryan Newman has come into the picture. His car looks really fast tonight also.
Can't say enough about Regan Smith in that 0-1. We mentioned his best qualifying effort. His best finish in his career was 14th at Martinsville. He came in as a short track ace, and maybe the last few weeks really starting to show his oats a little bit here in that DEI car.
He's showing a lot of patience right here. I wondered whenever he caught the 42 here how much patience he was going to show, but he's got a really good car, but he's doing a really good job. It's not what he wants right now. I know he'd like to get in front and try to run those leaders down. Jamie?
Well, he's doing a great job of being patient, DJ. He said the car is just driving great. He's very happy, pretty quiet on the radio, but he qualified fourth. That ties his best performance yet. His best finish this year, 14th, guys, so he can definitely improve that if he stays running as patient and as well as he has so far.
Very atypical of Bristol. We have been, and I perish to say that we have been caution-free now for 79 laps, and that is unusual. But guys, there's a driver coming, and it's the one that Dale Jarrett talked about, Kevin Harvick in the 29, and he is on his way. He is on a mission.
Yeah, this 29 car has been coming. These guys got held up quite a bit by Montoya, but now Montoya seems to pull away from Ruderman and actually Ryan Newman. You see now Ryan catching these guys again, but Harvick's catching these guys pretty good.
Yeah, and Harvick had moved up for a little while, but when those guys got to racing really hard, you saw him back off. I think that tells me he's got a really good car, and he wasn't going to press the issue right now. He's in a good spot.
Our Wrangler telemetry just shows you that Kevin Harvick just hammers that throttle and then jumps in the brakes to get it wound down. Dave.
Hey guys, he does have a very good race car. Crew Chief Todd Barrier believed that when I talked to him this afternoon. The only thing they've told him so far is to keep your eyes on your brakes. In other words, keep your foot off your brakes when you don't have to use them. A little bit of a rotor glow that they warned him about. Otherwise, just a little bit loose in at the beginning of these runs. They'll adjust for that on their first stop.
That's good information, Dave. That's just what you were saying, Dale. That's what he was doing there. He backed off of those guys when he saw they were running side by side. It was an opportunity for him to cool his brakes, cool his tires.
Leader in traffic, Michael Waltrip being shown in 33rd position. In front of him, Bobby Labonte, the last car on the lead lap in 32nd. 83 laps complete at Bristol.
Right after our coverage of tonight's Bristol race over on ESPN2, the wrap-up edition of NASCAR Now, 11:30 Eastern Time. Tomorrow afternoon, no NASCAR race, but an IndyCar race, the Grand Prix of Sonoma at 5:30 Eastern ESPN2. Our NASCAR Now Monday roundtable, 5 Eastern, and then next weekend it's off to California for a couple of nighttime races, East Coast time. The Nationwide Series race on Saturday, and the Pepsi 500 for the Sprint Cup Series on Sunday. We continue with our coverage tonight from here in Thunder Valley, presented by Pennzoil Platinum. Kyle Busch is the race leader, been out front since lap number 55 now, while he is pacing the field. One of his Joe Gibbs Racing teammates has kind of caught our eye moving through the field.
Yeah, Tony Stewart's looking really good, and one thing I've noticed, guys, he's running the bottom, the middle, and the top, and I never thought I would see that at Bristol, Tennessee. He's looking really strong out there. I mean, just really catching them, and Brad, old racetrack's getting pretty racy.
It is getting racy. You can see the grooves starting to work in. I tell you, I've seen something like I don't think I've ever seen. I'm looking at a 43-car field, and at one time, at different times, everyone in the field is running sub 1750. So, and Bill Elliott, how about Bill up on the wheel for the Wood brothers, doing a great job in that 8th position right now.
And we've been talking about the race to the chase and some of the bubble boys right in the middle of that mess. Denny Hamlin in the 11, Casey Kane in the 9, Clint Boyer in the 07. All those guys got to race hard at Bristol and protect the points.
Look at that again, guys. Three into the wall.
Martin Truex Jr. and A.J. Allmendinger in the 1 and the 84, and caution is out for the first time in this race, just shy of the 100-lap mark. You knew sooner or later somebody was going to slip.
I'm telling you, the field is not separated. Everyone's running the same speeds. Even Jimmy Johnson, who's 13 laps down, was running 1730s, and your leaders are running 1730. It's incredible. You can't get away from one another.
Going to see some pit stops here, Doc.
Indeed we should, and tough break for A.J. Allmendinger and Martin Truex, who were both trying to run in and stay in the top 15. Right side of your screen, watch the 1 car.
Yeah, he has the right front tire go down right there in the middle of the corner. We saw a lot of brake heat in these cars. I was really worried about that because we saw it last night. After these cars ran about that many laps, they could charcoal that bead and that tire go flat.
Yeah, nobody ran this many laps in practice to have any idea, but we talked about that, Andy, earlier, if that was going to be a problem, and we've already seen it.
The caution is out. Caution.
As you watch this contact, that is a big blow to the 84. Remember, they were just outside the top 35, only 13 points out of 35th in terms of owner points, and that is critical to be able to be guaranteed a starting spot here for the races coming up without having to qualify on time and speed.
Yeah, he was sitting there in the top 20. He had a good run going.
Talked about the unique pit road, and they got to come in under caution off of turn 2. And here come the leaders down, creeping along at 30 miles per hour. Jamie.
Remember what we said about pitting in the first pit stop? That is Regan Smith. They reminded him the rest of the field will be coming down when they exit. 4 tires, no changes. It should be a fast pit stop for Regan Smith. Shannon?
Well, Jamie, Jeff Burton went to victory lane in the spring here at Bristol. Right now he's tight through the middle. He said the fan underneath his seat is vibrating. They're probably going to turn that fan off. 4 tires for Jeff Burton. Mike.
Jeff Gordon saying he's got a little bit of a push. They're going to address that with air pressure and also a track bar adjustment. A 4-tire change in Sunoco race fuel for Jeff Gordon. They're completing their stop as they go to work now on the left side, Dave.
Leader Kyle Busch said, I'm just a little bit tight rolling the center of the corner. They'll make an air pressure adjustment, air out of that right front tire, and he leaves pit road. A good stop for the 18.
13.8 seconds for Kyle Busch. He's down and away. Both Busch and Jeff Gordon complaining of tight race cars. Cars pushing up across the racetrack. Let's listen in to our over-the-wall guy, Mitch Lash, the jackman for David Rudiman's car number 44.
Get to the right side. Peg it, full pump. Right rear off. Pass it. Drop it. Go around. Peg it. Pump it. That's a day in the office.
Mitch, a Navy veteran and former radio talk show host. He's the jackman for David Rudiman. Just another typical day at the office.